Do you believe that changing your financial situation is truly possible? Hey, it's Heather Chauvin, wife, mother of 3 boys, former social worker, breadwinner, recovering hustler, and stage 4 cancer survivor. I'm not a fan of that term, by the way. Beyond all of these titles and labels, I'm a human being, just like you, attempting to navigate it all while feeling good. My goal on this podcast is to show you that you can live an energized, sustainable life, both at home and in your work. It doesn't matter if you stay at home full-time, if you work from home, you're a CEO, a successful business owner, or trying to find some inspiration. On this show, I attempt to keep it real with stories, interviews, and random thoughts. This is not a business or career podcast, and it's not a parenting podcast. It's both and so much more. You will laugh. You may even cry, and you may even get a little frustrated with the truth you've been hiding from yourself. I believe all human behavior is a language, whether it's through your child's behavior, your health, or a relationship. And when we learn to listen instead of react, we begin to understand what it truly means to feel alive and in control. It's time to put your big girl pants on and find your brave. Let's go. All right, ladies, I am back, and today is the podcast for day 5. It did not go out yesterday. So for those of you who were involved in the challenge via text message, you got your challenge yesterday, which was reflecting on the past 4 days, doing the homework, going back, and asking yourself this really important question. Are you truly committed to change? And I purposely delayed today's podcast, and I will tell you why. I delayed today's podcast because what I find is some people are codependent on consistency and routine. So if you've been following along with this 5-day challenge, it has been, here's the challenge, there's the accompanying podcast. Here's the challenge, there's the accompanying podcast. And so yesterday I asked everybody, reflect on the last 4 days. Just reflect. Reflect on the last 4 days. And there was no podcast. So today is the wrap up. But here's the deal. Are you truly committed to change? Do you actually believe that changing your financial situation is possible? So today I'm going to be sharing a few stories, audios you're actually going to hear, just some women in my community, meaning like in my world, talking about their financial money stories. And some are the aftermath, so after they've done the work, some are in the middle of it, some are financial advisors and are very passionate about helping women change their money stories. And I think it's really important to hear other women talking about, their internal workings of the stories that they tell themselves. Because my whole goal for you this week was to show you that how we do one thing is pretty much how we do everything. And showing up for ourselves is not comfortable. Now, notice I said it's not easy. It can be really easy to show up for yourself, right? The action required is easy. What is not easy is feeling the emotion that is going to come up when you choose to take that action. And that is ultimately the brave zone. I've been having amazing conversations on the app. So if you want to text me, you can. You don't need to text the word money because the challenge is over. But you're welcome to still text me. So you can text me. Let me know if you have any questions, aha moments. The phone number is... What is the phone number? Phone number is 313-710-5199. 313-710-5199. So would love to know any takeaways that you had from this process. You could just, text me hello. It asks you to opt in, and then I will receive that message. So I've been having really cool conversations with people, but not totally understanding what the brave zone is. And the brave zone is when you choose to go after your desire, when you choose to make a difference in your life, when you choose to create change. And we have passive learners, we have active learners. So if you're a passive learner, you're passively, listening to this podcast or listening to all my podcasts, reading those books, attending webinars, attending every free thing that you can get your hand onto. Maybe you make some low-level risk investments in yourself, like a gym membership that doesn't scare the shit out of you, or, you're buying apps, or you're attending workshops or things like that. But are you actually doing the work? Are you leaning into the area of the brave zone? The brave zone. You know what action you need to take, but you're not taking it. The brave zone is when you know what action you need to take, and your brain is fighting so hard against you because of our conditioning, right? Our trauma, our stories, the neural pathways that we've developed in our brain. And when you choose to step into the unknown, which 2020 has taught us, when you choose to step into the unknown, you are entering your brave zone. You are going to cry. You might want to vomit. You might want to shit your pants. You might get angry. You might go numb. Your imposter syndrome will come up. Your I'm not enough. It's gonna inflame. You're gonna get inflamed because you're done with your own bullshit. And you're done waiting for somebody else to change their circumstance in order for your life to change. You're done waiting, not having enough money or not feeling good enough, or you're just done waiting. Or maybe you're like, money's not the issue. I'm just dying inside and I want my dreams to come true. I want to make a bigger impact in the world, and the world is not going to change if I play small. So when you're committed to change, you're committed to entering that brave zone. You're committed to saying, I'm ready and I'm scared. I'm ready and I'm scared. I'm ready and I'm nervous. That is the brave zone. So I want to hear from you. What is your brave zone? What are you committed to changing? So you're welcome to text me at 313-710-5199. 313-710-5199. Is it sad that I can remember the text message phone number and I don't even know my husband's cell phone number? What is that about? Maybe I'll just repeat his to myself over and over again. Okay. 313-710-5199. Let me know your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions. I love this shit. We're creating community together. I want to really start bringing this podcast community to life. I want you guys to feel like family, feel engaged in the process. And that's it. That is it. In the coming weeks, I'm going to be sharing my book cover title for those who are subscribed on the text message. And I'm just really, really excited to get more, to learn more about you. Okay, so change, brave zone. What does that look like? Feel the fear, do it anyways. If you are ready for the next step, I've had a lot of inquiry about coaching. What does that look like? Working with me, all of that stuff. We have two main programs. One is for personal development, one is for professional development. And there's also a combination of both, because I believe as a leader, whether you are a mother, a business owner, an employee, a stay-at-home mom, like how we lead our lives as women is really, really important. And you got to work on you in order to get to the next level. So we have Mastery. Mastery is an 8-month coaching experience. And then we have Mastery 2.0 Business. So Mastery is for the woman who wants to make a bigger impact in her home and in her life, but she wants to feel in alignment. And so some of her pain points may be a relationship, maybe emotional intelligence, meaning she wants to feel in control of her big emotions. Like, how does she understand fear and guilt and overwhelm and co-create with it instead of allowing those big emotions to run her show? And she also wants to just feel like she's living a life on purpose with contentment. So we can share all of that information with you. I could go on and on and on. So if you want to take advantage of that, we can give you a complimentary intro call if you fill out the application. I personally review the application and then I send you an email to get on the phone with Sasha. She is a team member of mine. She will do your intro call. She will tell you more about the program. So all you have to do is go to myname.com. So heatherchauvin.com/take back control. I know it's long. heatherchauvin.com/take back control. My last name is spelled Chauvin. So heatherchauvin.com/take back control. That link is also in the show notes here. And again, you can text me and just say, hey, send me your application, and I can send it to you that way as well. And also Mastery 2.0 Business is the same thing, right? So when you are diving into a business, so Mastery 2.0 Business is for women who are already in business, so 1 to 2 years in business, or she is wanting to start a business with a skill. She already knows what business she wants to start. And we have sales and marketing in there. So sales is really digging deeper and, wanting to make more money, owning the money that she wants to make. The whole primary focus of that program is to create a profitable business. I see so many women spending so much time on bullshit in their business that is just contributing to this addiction of busy. I'm like, let's make money quickly. You do not, if you're starting at the bottom, you do not necessarily do what I do in my business. So there's different levels and phases that you can go through. So having that intimate mentorship is key. So again, just fill out the same application, write down what's going on, and you can have that conversation with Sasha. heatherchauvin.com/take back control. Either way, today I want you to make a decision. Am I truly committed to change, or am I just sitting on the edge of my life and expecting something else to change before I take action? All right, talk soon.
So my earliest memory of money was as a kid, and money just seemed to be the place that felt so incredibly out of control in our family. It was the source of fights. There was constant overspending, and it just felt like our family was always on the verge of collapse. And my earliest memory of my relationship to it was we would go out to eat as a family. And as a kid, young kid, the first thing I would do is look at the prices on the menu, and I would choose the cheapest option on the menu. Meanwhile, the rest of my family would have whatever it is that they wanted. So as a kid, I always felt like it was my responsibility to try to control myself, deny myself, and keep things all together so that I was trying to, really stop the fighting. So like in midlife, I found myself kind of being in the same cycle that my parents were in. I was in this boom bust cycle of debt. I would have a big credit card and then I'd pay it off and then I'd rack it up again. But there was like this illusion around me where everybody thought I just was so responsible. I really had it together. At the same time, I chose a career of service in working in the environmental community. And in that community, there's such a mindset that money is evil and it really creates our problems. And so my perception of money was just that it was evil, that was out of control, that it led to fighting, that it led to environmental destruction. And now I'm really working on seeing things differently, working being the operative word. I want my kids to feel calm and peace around money. And I want them to know that with abundance comes great possibility to create the type of change that we really want to see in the world. Money itself is not evil. Money is not the source of our fighting. We can love our money and not be terrible people. And when we find that flow with money, amazingly great things can happen. So that's the legacy I want to leave for my kids. That's the legacy I want in my life. I don't want to be afraid of money and afraid of that feeling like the world's going to collapse around me. I want money to be a partner with me to create better things in this world.
Hey, Heather. Thank you so much for taking on this money challenge. I didn't realize how deep my money stories were running in my life and how many different aspects of my life they were touching. And I definitely need to heal these money wounds that I've been carrying around and actually have been following me from my parents' generation and their generation before that. I need to change for my son so that I am not passing down these same stories of lack that I have been dealing with my entire life.
I remember being 14 years old, about to enter into high school, and going back to school shopping with my mom. Now, back in the mid-90s, Calvin Klein wide leg jeans were all the rage. Every girl in my elementary school, I feel like they already had them, and I just desperately wanted to fit in. I desperately wanted these pair of jeans. Now, back then, they would have set me back about $90, which I just didn't have. I was babysitting and trying to earn extra dollars here and there, but I just didn't have enough money to pay for them myself. And so when my mom and I went back to school shopping, and now my parents, they had very traditional roles. My dad was the income earner. My mom took care of the home. And she also took care of, the grocery shopping and obviously the back to school shopping. And I, remember stepping into the store to do the clothing shopping. And I, of course, went to the rack with the Calvin Klein wide leg jeans and again asked my mom if I could buy them. And she asked me how much I had saved for those jeans. And at that time, I probably had maybe a quarter of the money. So maybe I had $30 or $40 for these $100 pair of jeans or $90 pair of jeans. And she offered, of course, I feel like I had to sign my life away in terms of chores, but she offered to pay the difference and buy me those jeans. Now, I didn't really realize it in that moment, but looking back and just remembering, because it's a very vivid memory for me, her dipping into her wallet and getting out her own money, trying to probably figure out where she was going to come up with the extra dollars to make her daughter happy, right? To make me happy. It probably came out of maybe groceries or maybe some other bucket of money that she had allocated for something else. But I just remember, the look that she gave me and how much she really wanted to get me those pair of jeans. And she made it happen. And I just remember feeling so grateful for her for buying them for me and so happy. Fast forward 25 years, I am a financial advisor and a money coach, and I definitely see how women having access to their own money, the importance of that, and how even if you are not the income earner, how important it is for you to have access to your own funds to be able to do what you please. I really believe that this is an area that can empower women, and it's an area that I do a lot of work with my private clients on. So if you're interested in learning more, please, I'd love to hear from you. Mention that you've heard me on the Mom is in Control podcast and send me a DM. You can find me on Facebook or Instagram. My handle is Heidi Rumohr. So at HeidiRumohr. I would love to hear from you and connect. Bye, everyone.
Why do I feel it's important for women to take ownership of their money? Well, I'll start with a personal story. My mom always defaulted to my dad growing up to pay the bills, to ask if she could buy this or buy that, to go grocery shopping, to know if we could, to ask if we could go school shopping or buy clothes or whatever it was. Everything always had to be a question to my dad. And now my dad isn't in good health. My mom has had to take over, and she's doing fine. But she's asking a lot of questions, and she has a lot of additional weight of everything else in life, trying to handle my dad's health and all of that on top of everything. And she's scared. And I think that this isn't just her. This is very normal. Historically, when we look at our grandparents and even generations past that, we always see that it's the men who are handling the finances and the relationship, and it's the women who kind of take a back seat and are handling more of the family stuff. Oftentimes, it's not always the case, but it's society that it's our culture that has taught us that we need to, as little girls, we need to marry somebody that has money. We need to know that we're going to be taken care of. We were never really taught until recently, and I think this generation is starting to change things. We're not taught to be independent and to handle things on our own. We're not taught that we're going to be okay just the way we are. We're not taught personal finance in schools. When you grow up, and I myself, even though I'm working personal finance now, when I got out of college, I had no clue what I was doing. And our society just doesn't teach us that. So that's extremely frustrating. And as time goes on and we see women in the working world, women starting to become parents, moms, there's these stories that we tell ourselves over and over again that come up, right? Like, I'm not good at math, or that's something that I need to be involved in my kids. I can't be involved in that. I need to ask permission to be able to do something that I want to do. I'm not just taught to go out into the world with my own permission. I have to ask for validation from somebody else. So these stories are keeping us small, and culture is continuing to thrive off of that. And I think that women experience these little mini traumas inside ourselves because we realize that when these are built inside of us, and they stay inside of us for so long, that we put ourselves up against a wall, and it finally gets to a point where something needs to happen because we can't handle this kind of oppression anymore. So we need to learn to rewrite our money stories, because we're starting to have these mindsets around money that stop us from doing the things that we want to do. So the idea is that when we can finally turn inward and look at and identify, first of all, these mindsets, address these mindsets, and try to change them, then we can finally start to feel free, right? We can finally start to have this feeling of liberation that, oh yeah, actually I can do whatever I want to do in this world and nobody can hold me back.
All right, so there you have it. Ladies, it is time to rise, whether it is in your financial health, your physical health, emotional health, spiritual health, or parenting, support, or other relationships. We do have control. We just need to get out of our own way. Step into the discomfort and know that you are not alone. So again, if you are looking for additional support and you want to dive into a community where not only do you have the strategy and the plan, but the support to get you there and rise. So we're now taking applications for Mastery and Mastery 2.0 Business. It is all by application and you have to do an intro call. So we want to hear from you. What are your goals, both personally and professionally? Head on over to Heather Chauvin, last name is spelled CHAUVIN.com/take back control. And if you have any questions before filling out the application, you can text me at 313-710-5199. 313-710-5199.